Welcome, everybody, to one of our Women Who AI Summit bonus workshops. Today, we're here with Yifat Cohen, who is going to be talking all about how to build a 24/7 AI chatbot that I think is definitely going to be my best friend, and I'm sure it's going to be many of yours. And one of the biggest things I think that we recognize is that there's so many people out there just building AI chatbots. Build your AI assistant, no code AI assistant, build your chatbot, build your thing. And I always wonder if what strategy is put in behind that. And I think one of the reasons why I haven't, I have AI tools, but a tool is completely different than an actual AI assistant. And one of the reasons that I'm excited for this two-part workshop, but also just what I think has kept me is having that whole purpose. What do I want my AI assistant to do? Because I know that they can be really powerful when used correctly, but I do think having the strategy behind it is really what accelerates that. Yifat, I know you're going to share and walk us through just the strategic part and things that we want to first consider, two things that we need inside of our business that we need to be able to have to properly program and make sure our AI assistant is exactly what we need. But before we dive in, I'd love for you to share. You've done so much work in the AI space. You're one of what I think you're like a secret weapon when it comes to people doing really amazing things with AI, people who can really think with that AI intervention that really, I don't know how we can get you on 5,000 more stages because I think we're lucky to have you, but I think you're somebody that just a lot of people don't recognize the wealth and the extensive background that you have. So can you just start off by sharing that with us, please?
Yeah, and thank you very much for having me and everybody here today. I think you're going to be really blown away by what you can do and in how short of a time and how easy it will be for you to do it. So I started with, I didn't know I was a geek when I came to the States, and I met my ex who was like, I think she's a geek, and he started gifting me computer parts and teaching me how to put it together. So if you've ever heard of anyone hitting on a woman with computer parts, that's how geeky I am. And I am very much the person who's, okay, this is so cool, but what can I do with this? There's so many things out there that can suck your time, that can be really nice looking on the outside, nice wrapping, and then the inside doesn't do anything that it promises you. It doesn't alleviate any of the pains that you have. And you find yourself spending so much time trying to figure this stuff out. And by the end of it, it does something that you could have done in 5 minutes. So I've been tinkering with a lot of tech and with a lot of stuff that as it comes out, ChatGPT, if you remember Jasper, when Jasper came out, one of my first clients created the first AI, I think about 10 years ago when it wasn't AI. It was just like a smart ChatGPT, but we didn't know ChatGPT and we didn't know AI. And through my system, the Zoom Sales Engine, we turned that into $250,000 in about 10 days, doing exactly what we're doing today. Figuring out how this tool can help the people that we're talking to in real time, what are their challenges, and how do we apply it. So that's what I hope to share with you today. And hopefully by Friday, we will eliminate as many of the problems and the annoying things that you're doing so that you are free to really do what humans are supposed to do. Create, imagine, socialize, think. How much time do we have to think deeply about things that we want to do? It's always go. So that is the purpose of what we're doing today. So if we're ready, we'll get started.
So for those of you that are on, and I know many of you are going to be watching the replay, and Yifat will guide you through everything that you need to know, all of the thought process behind it. But for those of you that are live with us, this is your chance to get hot seated. Since you're here, we really want to help you specifically walk through this and just give you a little bit of a chance to get hot seated. So don't be shy, come off mute and things like that as Yifat walks us through how to even just start thinking about what we want to do with our AI chatbot.
This is what we're doing today. We are going to learn how to think about building a 24/7 sales and support and sales machine. Like Kelly was saying, this is interactive, which means that we are talking not at you, but with you. We're going to start the hot seat. So let's start with this. I don't know anything about what you're doing. Are you a coach? Do you have a Shopify store? Are you trying to sell products? Do you do affiliates? What do you hope that the chatbot that we all create together can solve for you? So unmute yourself, share your camera, just jump on screen and let us know so that we can really curtail this to your needs. So what is it that you want your chatbot to do?
Here's one of the things that I get stuck in when I get this question. What do I want it to do? My first question is always like, what can it do? I do think that there's something, especially with AI, knowing all of the amazing things that AI can do. Are we limited? What can I do? Ultimately, customer service, follow up, a bot that can help really up level that client experience the minute that they come into contact with either a website or a Facebook post or something like that. We know just that initial surprise and delight kind of white glove service is something that really makes a difference that many of us don't have time for. So for me, that would be where I would focus on, is just like something that really just up levels and make it fun to interact. Adrienne, I see tailor offerings based on customer needs, which I know Yifat, you and I have talked about.
You're in the right place. Adrienne, do you want to jump in and just tell us a little bit more about what you have and how do you want it to work?
Hi, Adrienne.
Sure. I'm still in the brainstorming stage, but doing a big picture. My offering is I'm a communications coach. And so I would like to have courses and training modules provided to my clients. But as I mentioned, I would like for it to be tailored based to someone's specific needs, whether they need to create an elevator pitch versus whether they need to know how to manage their nonverbal communications, things of that nature.
Awesome. That can be done. Super cool. Desiree, anyone else want to jump in and let us know what you want to achieve so we can help you in that?
Yes, this is Desiree. So I have a chatbot on one of my business sites, but I want to make a few others on some other business sites and on a Shopify e-commerce store. So I'm in the digital marketing space, doing coaching and done for you services, but I also am in the AI automation space, and I'm from a technical background. So electrical engineering, machine learning, and I need to make a chatbot for that particular side of my business. Courses around that for technical folks.
So first of all, I love the power of women that we get here. That's amazing. Adrienne, what does your chatbot currently do and doesn't do that you hope that we can do together here? I'm sorry, it's Desiree. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a knowledge base. So for my marketing side of the business and automation, it's just when they come to the site, it gives them background on some of the services, frequently asked questions. I didn't go deep. Usually I would provide a lot of documentation for it. And I was just testing out some different tools. And so I just have it there. I'm not really using it a lot because I was doing test cases.
Gotcha. Okay, so one very interesting differentiation between a chatbot and an AI agent is that a chatbot has to be prompted by a user. It doesn't automatically just goes and pings people and going, hey, Kelly, how you doing today? Want to learn something? It doesn't do that. That's a difference between just a chatbot that will have all the knowledge that we'll build and an AI agent that every Monday goes out and write an SEO article for you. So there's a big distinction between autonomous agents and what we're building. A chatbot, when it grows up, it can become an agent, and then you can tell it to do things autonomously, give it functions and have it do things so you don't have to do it like, oh, every Monday, let's write a blog post. Every Tuesday, let's create a social post. That's an agent. A chatbot can be trained on these things and then turned into an agent. But right now, what we're doing is building just chatbots. So now that we kind of know what we want to do, let's talk about what they can do. So when I think about chatbots, and support and sales, I wanted to stop all the sucking activities, the things that like I hate doing all the time over and over and over again. Answering support tickets at midnight. It's Easter and then you get an email and you want to be prompt and you want to respond and not lose the customer, and you're there typing responses. Repeating the same thing over and over again. It's yes. All the information is in your FAQ on the website. Nobody bothers reading it. So they call you and ask you, hey, what's your return policy? It's on the page. So you don't want to do all that stuff over and over again. Speaking in multiple languages. What if you're international and someone sends you an email in a different language and you're like, Google Translate and back and forth. If you're drowning in customer inquiries, if you have a store or a shop and now it's Easter and everybody's buying stuff and they need questions and answer right away, but then afterwards it goes down. So do you hire someone just for the holidays? What about the training? What about how much time it takes you to get them up to speed? What if they say the wrong thing because they've only been there for a day? The cost that goes with like finding, hiring, training, interviewing, all that stuff. And then we don't need as many customer support agents. If you're struggling with higher support costs, right? Even for the chatbots, they are not cheap. AI today is not super cheap. If you watch all the stuff that you're paying for ChatGPT and Claude and Midjourney and Veo and all those other things, it adds up to a bunch. It's always like funny to me. Remember when we had TV and we paid, I don't know, $100 or something like that for cable. And they're like, we're cutting the cord. Cable is too expensive. And now we're paying for Netflix and Amazon. So basically the same thing, but we're only getting separate services. And if you don't have enough time to convert each lead personally, it would be fantastic if you can talk to the person, figure out exactly what they want, and send them in the right direction, right? Oh, you need my lead magnet. Oh, watch this podcast. No, you need this course. You can't do that on a scale because it's just you or 5 of your support people, and you're losing people down the line. So the biggest challenge is that most chatbots today are nothing more than a glorified contact us form. And I'm going to show you an example of an existing website that I went through, and then I was like, oh man, let me build a chatbot to show you the difference. And it's 80% there. Give me grace with technology, but I'm hoping that everything goes smooth and I can show you the differences today. So most of them are looking like this. It's just contact us form. So how can I help you? This is basically FAQ. What's the difference between this and an FAQ on your site, except this pops up. And if I click on how do I make a return on exchange, I get the FAQ on the bottom. If I click on one talk, I get give us your email first. Fine, here's the email. I just invented something. Mind if I get your name? Sure. Thanks, what can I help you with? And again, a form, pick one of those. So I picked something else. And they're saying, now they're sending me to a virtual assistant that says, how can I help you? And again, I get all these buttons. So I click other, and it brings a human. So what is the point of this entire thing? That was an FAQ page on a site. And in order to answer a simple question like, do you have any deals? That chatbot pings a human. And the human comes in and says, hey, what can I help you? I said, do you have any deals? They say yes. And I said, okay, what shoe is right for me? Now the human asked me, do you prefer running or walking? I say walking. They tell me these two things. I say, great. Is it both for men and women? They say yes. I'm like, okay, because you have different sections for this stuff. This beautiful experience of here's my FAQ in a pop-up. I don't know how to answer a simple question like, do you have any deals? Can you imagine how much it costs? Throw a number out there. How much does the privilege of using this pop-up FAQ and pinging a human actually cost?
Cost the company?
Yeah. What's the cost of this chatbot experience?
All right, everybody, type your guesses in the chat.
$1 billion.
Can I ask, are we looking at what does it cost? What is the one cost to get it up and running? Or are we
What's the
also
ongoing cost of actually having
ongoing cost?
this chatbot
Okay.
that doesn't even answer basic questions and pings a human to come and answer my questions for me?
All right, what are our guesses? I'll put mine in the chat.
$2,500 a month. Most chatbot and AIs are really up there. $5,000. So here's the fun part. They don't even tell you on the website. They go, hey, you want this thing? Come and book a demo, which tells you that it's not cheap. So I went and I did a little bit of a Google search and like, how much is it? And it's been listed on a different website that it's starting with 180 or 210. A lot of money for a small business to have just for this FAQ pop-up. There are other websites like Intercom, which is very popular, that is charging you per seat. So if you have a few people or if it's you or someone else needs to answer, it goes up. Most people pay around $1,000 and it goes way, way up with the support. Now notice the support is not just $29 a month. Every time you interact, you hit the agent, it's $1 per resolution. So it adds up. So that's a challenge. So if I can show you a chatbot that isn't a glorified contact us form, personalizes the answers to the user, qualifies and recommends solutions, showcases your products if you have a Shopify store or any e-commerce store, softly upsells your users to whatever it is that you want to sell them, speaks 80+ languages so you don't have to learn French or Hebrew, works 24/7. It's with your existing platform, your WordPress, your Wix, your Squarespace, your Go High Level, your WhatsApp, your Slack, escalates when you need it. So if someone goes, I hate you guys, I'm going to sue you, you go, let's talk to a human. Doesn't cost an arm and a leg. And you can have up and running in less than an hour. Who's in for that? Me too. Okay, so let me show you what their chatbot could be.
And before you go on, like I want to just make a point when we're talking about cost. That's not including the cost. Like I always think about the cost of my time, which is the other part of it. It's okay. If everybody thinks of what their hourly is, essentially, if I was going to do contract work in my space, I would probably charge between $200 and $300 an hour. If it takes me 8 hours to build my own chatbot, that's $1,600 to $2,400 that it actually cost me because I could have been doing hourly work and getting paid for somewhere else. So I think what you're going to save us isn't just like this great thing that you're about to show us that is cheaper than some of the other things that are out there. But the fact that you're setting us up now, and in part two, we're going to do it in under an hour, that saves us a lot of money in terms of what our time is worth. And I think that is really what the power is behind this, because when you were thinking about cost, I was like, okay, cost to maintain it, but like, how much does it actually cost to get someone to build it? And another cost that we didn't really talk about.
And you're absolutely right. We usually charge between $2,500 and $5,000 to set it up for people. A lot of the money that we charge in order to set it up is part of the chase, because we have to chase people down to be like, hey, can you get this? And can you test that? Can you do this? All that time that goes into the thinking what it's going to do, the chasing them down to get all the information, the testing and the looking and all that stuff, that goes and becomes a nice setup fee. So you guys are going to get all the thinking that goes into it right now and all the doing in less than 30 minutes, and you don't have to pay $5,000 for any of that stuff. So let's see what their support could have been. So this is, again, I spent 30 minutes building this. So if there are any hiccups or whatever technology, it'll be amazing. So this could be their website, a chatbot on their website, and it starts with, hey, some questions that people always ask us, and we don't want to have a human answer the same questions again. So if you notice, one of the questions is, what's the best shoe for me? I asked that to that other human, and she goes, you like walking or running? That was the answer. So here I can just start, what's the best shoe for me? And I called it Sassy because Allbirds is all about sustainability. And I was like, okay, sustainability, Sassy, let's see. So Sassy comes back with, okay, I need to know a little bit more about your preferences. What activities would you be doing? Do you have any specific style preferences, color design? The human didn't ask me any of that. Are there any particular features that you're looking for? Art support, lightweight, eco-friendly material? What is your shoe size? Once I have the information, I can recommend the best questions for you. So let's just say I like blue shoes for running. Let's see what happens. So because Allbirds runs on Shopify, Shopify has their own XML site, so we can tie into it externally, but Noem actually integrates directly into Shopify, so you don't have to do any coding or anything like that. So look how cool this is. It recommended the shoes. It only picked up the blue shoes because I said I want blue. It shows me the picture. It shows me the products. And it shows me the direct link to buy it. Oh, this one. And I can just say, hey, the links are broken. Told you it's 80% there. Not directly integrated with Shopify. Oh, I'm so sorry. Here they are again. They might have changed their stuff and I haven't updated the site. So I can say, how do I take care of this shoe? Now, again, I built this in 30 minutes without talking to anyone on Allbirds, only from public information. So this can go amazing. This could go there. So now Sassy tells me exactly what to do. This is how you clean it. This is how you dry it. This is how you store it. Let's say by following these care tips, you can keep your Allbirds shoes looking great and performing well for a long time. If you have any specific questions about these shoes, feel free to ask. I got a defective shoe. So now let's do with customer service, and I'm not a happy customer. So now it's asking me all this information. What type of shoe is it? What specific issue? When did you purchase it? Anything. And they'll escalate that to a human that can actually help me. What if I want to talk badly about them or reference to a competitor? I think Nike is way better than you are. You suck. Why am I testing my bot this way? Because there are a lot of trolls online and they're going to be saying a lot of things. And I just want to make sure that my bot is not getting into conversations about race, religion, or anything like that.
It's so smart. That's really smart. Because I was like, where are you going with this? But I think at the same time, that's one of the biggest concerns around AI, right? And so I love that you're bringing this up. It's like, we've spent so much time thinking about what information do we give it? And then we test it on, does it know the information that we want it to have? But we don't test on other constraints or boundaries. Is it going to talk smack about Nike? Imagine, you guys, if it could have been like, technically no, because Nike does this and this, right? And we don't want to end up in some hot water because our bot decides to talk smack or pulls something from somewhere that's not accurate. And so I think this is a really super valuable point that you're addressing here, is this is for myself. I'm so focused on, is it giving me accurate information based on what I've taught it? Not just, is it going to go on some weird tangent and have conversations that are totally inappropriate that down the line could get me in trouble.
If I want to speak to it in a different language, automatically it's going to switch into Spanish. So what's cool about that is you don't have to be like, hey, choose your language. Whichever language the user starts talking to it with, it's going to talk in that language. If I switch to Hebrew, it's just going to respond in Hebrew. I don't have to tell it like, hey, remember all the languages, or ask the user what language do they want to communicate with, or anything like that. Whatever I bring in, it starts switching to that language. Do you have any sales? Let's see. So at this point, their chatbot called a human to come and answer that question. And here, Sassy just gives me directly links to their sales page, and I can just go by. So when you integrate this directly with Shopify, it's going to be right here. Oh shoot, we're not here right now. We're open 24/7. So if you were to integrate Noem with Shopify, it will be right here on the website, and whatever link or whatever preferences you did, it'll just pop up the page right behind it. You don't leave the site, no new page open or anything like that. And notice right here, would you like to treat yourself to something special? So usually it finishes with a soft pitch. Hey, you're looking at that. Do you want to buy it? Do you want to buy it? Do you want to buy it? In different ways. Hey, should I help you buy it? Do you want the sales page? Do you want the offer page? You can nudge it to wherever you want it to go, or wherever you want to lead your client. So if you're looking at the beginning here, where we're like, tell me what you want, and based on that, I will make the offering. This is how you qualify your leads. When a lead comes in, you can be like, hey, do you want to learn about this? Are you stuck with that? What specifically do you want to do? So let's go back to tell me if you see our presentation here. Okay, so we saw what it could do. Right now, what they have is a basic contact us form that calls a human for any question that is not there. What it could be is something that actually works 24/7, sends them to the sales, answers the question, doesn't need any human interaction. Super cool. So now, Noem can do a lot more than just smart support, because a lot of people here are not just doing customer support for Shopify or their own things. We can actually have different functions for different bots. So we looked at the customer support service. It can also be a sales development representative, basically asking questions and recommending products. It can be a research agent. You can come to it and ask it questions because it can hit the web and use Perplexity to find all the latest articles and latest research and actually bring them up to the user. One of our clients is using it to help students find universities that fit their needs. So they're coming in and it acts like career coach. So they're coming in and they're saying, these are all the things that I want. And it pulls all the information from all the universities and says, for this profession, this university will be best for you. You can also have it as a contract analyzer agent. You can have keyword research agent, and you can be a virtual coach. These are the templates that we already have and set up for you. You can turn it into anything you want. If you decide the following things that we're going to talk about, it can do anything you want within the constraints that you put on it. Does that make sense? Any questions up to now?
This is good. Thank you for going over the constraints that you can put on it. I heard in another AI type thing, I thought this was the best thing to say when the person was like, AI is as ethical as you are.
Exactly.
So that's like us having to do what we need to do in order to make it right.
That's right. As ethical as you are. That's right. My biggest worry, there's a lot of people who say, can I have an AI that's going to interact for me on social media? And I'm like, really? So you want some AI bot to go rogue on your Twitter account and start saying racist things in your name under your profile, and then you go be like, dude, it wasn't me, it was a bot? There was actually a big case right now with, was it called Cursor? So Cursor, a lot of people are using Cursor. It's not a chatbot, it's an actual AI platform like ChatGPT. And they're using it as a coding partner. So they're coding and Cursor is on the side, and it helps them build apps and websites and code. And so one user noticed that when he logs in on his desktop, he's being disconnected from his laptop. Like he can only be on one account at a time and not switch between them. So he went to support. And the support was AI. And he went to support and said, hey, what's going on? Why can I not be on all my platform? And the AI said, sorry, it's a new policy, which was not a new policy. It just made it up. And that user went to Reddit and it just went, what? And everybody started canceling their accounts. They're like, this is bullshit. Why would you take this away from me? I work on multiple things. And it took them a day to catch that the AI was hallucinating, giving the wrong support ticket. And by that time, it became a media thing, right? And a bunch of users left. And now it's something, a fire that you have to figure out how to recover. So I would never want to fully rely on my AI to go and talk to me about things that it doesn't know. Putting the restraints on the bot itself at the beginning and kind of refreshing all the time and making sure that it remembers that is a good way to go. And testing. Test your bot, then share it, and ask your user to test it, and then test it again. So how do we make it our own? First of all, we want to know what we want it to be. Do we want it to be a lead conversion? Do we want it to be a customer support success rep? Do we want it to coach? Do we want it to train? Do you want to use it to education, like all the courses, want to lead to courses? The reason why this first one is so important is because if you put all the information into one bot, it will go crazy. It will have conflicts. It'd be like, what do you want me to do? To sell it or support it or educate about it? When you're hiring a team of people, you don't hire one person that's your ad person and your customer support and your sales guy and your IT and your graphic designer and your copy. There's a role for each person in your team. So if you think about the chatbots as having a role, you're the customer support, you're the lead gen, you're the education one, you're the thing, then they're very narrow on what they're doing and they're not going outside that scope and they can't mess it up. Make sense? So the first thing is, what do you want it to be? By the way, that little gnome thingy is my cupcake that I created her to help people with branding, like thinking about how you want to brand yourself and stuff. So you can create your own little cute avatar and it can just be there for you. And every time I look at her, I'm like, cupcake's so cute. She's helping me with all my stuff. Next one, what do you want it to do? So we know what we want it to be, a lead gen, for example. Do we want it to direct people to buy our products? Do we want them to watch our podcast or our YouTube? Do we want them to book a call with us? Do you want them to download something like a lead magnet? Do we want to answer repetitive questions? How do I take care of my stuff? Do you want them to recommend a solution? So what if you are an influencer or affiliate marketer and you can just have someone tell you all the problems that they have and recommend an affiliate product so that you make money from the bots without having ever to do anything with you? Do you want them to email you every time something happens, or do you want them to email the user? We have to think about what is it that I wanted the bot to do, because then I know what to tell it to do. If I want to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I can't just be like, hey, take 2 slices of bread and put some peanut butter on one side and jelly, because it will be like, where's the bread? Where's the peanut butter? You go like, go to the cabinet behind you, open the doors, reach in, grab the bread, close the doors, go to the drawer, open it up, take the knife, go back, put the bread on the plate, right? You have to tell it what to do, because otherwise it'll just be like, let me make something up. So this is super, super important. And this is the part that you have to think about before you're starting to build your bot. Does that make sense? Questions, comments? We good? Okay. So the next one is, how do we want it to behave? Do we want it to be funny? I have a sense of humor. Do I want my chatbot to have a sense of humor? What if people get offended by my sense of humor? Maybe it's just a little bit funny. Do we want it to be professional? Do we want it to show GIFs? It can do that. Do we want it to show videos? Do we want it to stick to the topic and not talk about World War II? Do you want it not to talk badly about competitors at all? Or do we want to reference how you're different than the other competitors? Look, Nike does that, but we're doing this. Do you want it to compare the stuff? When do you want to escalate to a human? Do you ever want to escalate to a human? Or you be like, no, that's a chatbot, you deal with it, never talk to me. Do you want it to create PDFs or images or PowerPoints? What is it that you want your chatbot to do in order for it to fulfill the role that you want it to do, to remove stuff away from your to-do list? And then what do you want it to know? Do you want to give it all your FAQs? Do you want to have the return policy? If you wrote a book, do you want your book to be there? By the way, when you put your book in Noem, it's private to you. We don't touch it, we don't share it, we don't use it to train our models or anything like that. We have clients that wanted to offer their book as kind of like a preview for people to buy it, but they didn't want to put it on ChatGPT because they know ChatGPT and Claude use any information that's given to them to train their models on it. We don't do that. So you can put your book in there and you can have your chatbot reference your book. It can reference your courses. It can lead them to different courses, to your worksheets. If you want a podcast or a YouTube, if you have products or affiliate products, if you have upsells, what do you want it to know so that it can provide the best support for that role that you decided that you wanted to do? You want to tell him how you're different. You want to work with us because we answer right away. You want to work with us because we have a money back guarantee. You want to work with us because we care about the environment. And they're your IP. You can put that. Again, we don't train any of our systems on what you put into Noem when you build it. But if you want your chatbot to know how you think about things, how you connect the dots, how you're looking at systems, what your preferences are, you have to tell it. So all these things you have to teach your little bot. You have to go like, what do you want it to be? What do you want it to do? How do you want it to behave? And what do you want it to know? That this thinking has to happen before we log in, before we get an account, before we do anything. That's really why we're here today, to get you to start thinking about all that stuff. And don't worry, we're going to do this together in a workshop. So any questions about how you train your bot to do what you want it to do? Everybody's good? I'm that clear? That's amazing.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
Is it more strategic to build bots based on tasks? Like when you asked earlier, what do we want our bots to do? Let's say, and like Adrian said, tailor offerings based on customer needs. I said, up level the client experience. Does the bot lose accuracy the more we ask it to do? Or is it, do you understand what I'm saying? Will my bot be a better customer service agent if that's all I've asked that chatbot to do? Or if I'm like, do customer service and suggest new offerings and answer questions for people who can't log into their membership site, right? If I give it too many things, like we talk about, like if it's my interns are better if I'm like, this is your lane. I want you to perfect, this is your one role versus here's 8 plates that I want to have you spin. So from that strategy, do the chatbots lose effectiveness if we are asking them to fill more than one role?
It will get confused because you will give it contradicting instructions. Because if one of them you want to be your salesperson, then you always want to lead them into selling. But if it also needs to educate, then it gets caught in the education stuff and maybe never go into the selling. You can have a library of all the information that you want, all your FAQs and all your policies and all your testimonials and all your information as a reference to the bot to go back there. But it needs to have like very short instructions of, look, this is what you're supposed to be doing. And this is how I know you're successful. If you solve the problems and never emailed me, awesome job. Just clear up my inbox. I don't want to talk to anybody. Just solve all the problems. If you want to be like, no, I want people to come to my website, and I'm going to show you a few cool examples, like really cool examples. I want them to come to my website, and I want to basically segment them, whether they're going to be a good client, high ticket client, or they're going to be just someone that should buy my book. That instructions of trying to figure out where to go is a little different than what your problem, let me solve it.
Makes sense. So to answer your question, when we think about building the bot, it's better to think of something very specific.
Very specific.
Okay.
Now you can have as many bots as you want. Nobody says you can only have one and that's it. So you can, with Noem, you can build different bots and you can put them like one is on your lead magnet page and one is on your homepage and one is behind a paid wall that only your paying clients can actually access, and now they can look at your courses and your IP and your information. The one that's like on the homepage never sent to book a call because that's only for your paying clients. So that's only on the back end. And that's really where the thinking comes in. Hey, if someone comes to my website with nothing, what do I want them to know about me? How will they get to your website? That is also very important. Are you an influencer? Are you driving cold traffic to your website? Like, why are people landing there? If they're landing there because they saw your Instagram and they clicked on your bio link and they went there, they have a little bit of an idea of what you do, but maybe they want to learn more about you and your offering. Maybe that's your bot, right? After they bought from you, now that they know more about you, maybe your bot needs to send them to, this is in module 1, go watch module 1 again. This question is in module 52, here's the stuff for that, right? So now it helps your course students, your paying clients, figure out where everything in the course is so they don't have to email you and go like, I don't understand. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, smart chatbot should free up your time from all the repetitive tasks that you're doing. It should fully support the user based on what you told them to do. Solve their problem, upsell products, figure out which product is right for them, save you money on hiring and training because outsourcing is not cheap. And Kelly said at the beginning, it takes 3 months to train someone to do one thing. at least, and then a little bit more support for them to actually do the thing that you told them to do, that they forgot that you told them to do. So it saves you all that time and money on that. It should not require a PhD to set up and operate. Nothing against PhDs, it just shouldn't be that complicated. And it should not be required babysitting, like you said it and you forget it. So that's what smart chatbots should do. There should not be a contact us form that calls a human every time there's a question outside the FAQs. So Noem can do a lot more than that. Noem actually integrates with all the AI, so you don't have to. It integrates with image generation, with Google, with social sites, and we are using on the back end programs like Photoshop and Adobe After Effects to create social graphics that you can use to create PowerPoints, to create PDFs. So it can do a lot more, which basically goes, okay, this is limited by your imagination of what you want to do with it, which is where the thinking comes in. Hey, what would I like it to do? Do I want it to send a PDF to a person? Do I want it to create a PowerPoint for me? What do I want it to do? So it can work on any site, WordPress, Wix, Squarespace, go high level. We have native integration with WhatsApp. So all the international users that you have, they can just WhatsApp, integrate with you, Slack, Zendex for support. We have direct integration with Shopify, which means that if you have a Shopify store, someone can come to your bot and be like, where's my order? And it will pull it from the store and give it to the user. So there's no human that needs to be like, let me check and let me see and let's see what's going on. The integration with Shopify also means that it can recommend products right there and then. It can show you what the product is. It can send you directly to the product page. It can upsell, downsell, cross-sell, do all these really cool things and really remove a lot, like 80% of the customer supports that you will have with Shopify. We're going to have SMS soon, which means that someone can text and talk to the chatbot within their SMS thing. This requires an integration with Twilio, which means that you're going to get a Twilio account and you're going to have your own Twilio fees that go with that. It's an option. And this is one of the coolest things. So if you guys are using Instagram or any of those links like Linktree, then you have a bio link. And in the bio link, you send people to a bunch of links. And that's it. And you hope they click. What if instead you had your own little hosted chat? So I have Ask Yifat, and you can come in here and you just talk to me. And then figure out like what my offers are and how do I think about things and what can we do together, and maybe I have some quotes or stuff like that. We realized that a lot of people would love to have things like that, not just a little chatbot that pops on your site, but they're not techie, right? Like they don't know how to put JavaScript and where to put JavaScript and how to do all these things. So in Noem itself, we can host this for you. You can have your own little graphics and you can have your own beautiful site already done. You build your bot, which is going to do next time. And in one click, you have it done and ready. If you want it on your own domain, you will need a secure certificate, which is about $70 a month, but we solve it. You can have it on your own domain with us. You don't need to do any of the coding or anything like that. So you can have your own little thing. I am super, super excited about this because I think that is like really a paradigm shift in how we think about websites and all that stuff. Because if you send someone to your website and instead of just like, hey, click my link or go to the navigation or try to figure out where everything on my site is, you just have this little bot that can have a video that goes, hey, hi, this is Yifat. Here are some of the things I can do for you. Which one would you like to start with first? And then they just talk to you all the time and the bot leads them to wherever it is that you're offering. I think that's a revolution. Instead of like sending links, you're now sending answers. And it's done in like, seriously, guys, by the time we're done next time, you're going to have all of this on done and done. So I'm super excited about that one. And I like that you like it too. Yay. So Noem can do a lot more than just chatbots. We can also do social media posts, content creation, ad creatives, blogs. You can get over 2,000 word SEO blog with meta tags, with a banner for your blog, with references to the website and all the trends that are happening, with all the references and tie it up to your own company. Email to you every day or once a week. So you don't have to ever go research and write articles or do anything like that. You get the blog into your inbox and you publish, and it's integrated with WordPress. You just upload to your WordPress and you're done. Or you can copy paste it into your Substack and you just stay consistent with the blogs about what you're doing in your industry. We also do videos. You can have an entirely faceless video account about a specific topic that you want and start building that. We do PowerPoint presentations. It will actually create the entire PowerPoint for you. And we can do custom agents, which means that you build your own little agent that does something by itself, right? Like emailing you a blog post every Monday so you don't ever have to do this again. So that means that you don't have to pay for Midjourney and Leonardo and Canva and ChatGPT and Claude and Grok and Perplexity or an SEO writer to do exactly the same thing that we're doing, an appointment setter because you can build your chatbot to say, hey, if this fits the criteria, here's my calendar link, do that. Customer support rep, the same way we just saw, and a lot more, like really depending on your imagination. So we said at the beginning, a smart chatbot should actually save you time and money and not require a human to be present in order to operate. So on the back end, you will be getting these reports every month, I believe, that basically shows you like, this is what the questions that were asked. This is how many hours you actually saved in customer support, which will turn into that much money. And the good thing is you're looking at all the stuff that Noem can do, and you saw the basic chatbot that I showed you at the beginning that cost $120 or $200 a month, right? The thought is like, okay, how much is Noem? How much is Noem for all these things? How much am I paying? Less than your monthly Starbucks. You can start for free. You can pay $20 a month for that, or you can go up, really depending on your integrations and how much you're using it. The good news is this. In order to get started, all you need to do is decide which chatbot you want to set up, lead magnet, customer support, education, course creation, whatever it is that you want to set up. You need to decide on what you want it to do, gather all the information, your FAQs, your courses, your testimonials, your product, what is it that you want to do, get that information so we can put it together. You can go to noem-ai and do it right now and have it done in the next hour, or you can show up to our next meeting and we're going to do this together. So all the questions that are coming up along the way, we can actually support you. We're going to be like, okay, everybody, click this thing, update this thing. Here's the template for that. Let's do it this way, and support you in all that stuff. And if you come to our workshop and stay till the end, I have a really huge bonus just for Kelly and her people that will give you the top model with all our agents at no cost at all. Any questions, anything that you want to say, anything that you want to get ready for next time, let me know.
Awesome. To recap, when we show up for a call 2, we need to know what type of chatbot we want. We need to have all of the information that chatbot needs to know in order to effectively do its job. So if, for example, let's take Adrienne, for example, said that she wants her chatbot to tailor offerings based on customer needs. Adrienne is going to need to have all of the information about all of her offerings and the characteristics or the qualifiers for what that customer, like all potential customer needs, and which offer would satisfy that need.
Right. Yes.
So for me, if I want like a customer journey bot, just someone to like love on my people and chat with them and make them feel special and just be like, hey, here's the thing. I would need to tell it, this is what I want you to focus on. These are the questions I want you to ask. Here's what you need to know about what I do. Here are some of the pain points of my clients. Here are some free resources that I would want you to offer. Like, we need, the more information that we can give it, the better. So that's where the heavy lifting is, correct?
Yes. And you can be funny. Let's see. I think I closed that window. So let's see for a second. You can be funny and you can integrate stuff like, so on my page, for example, and it's a bot that I built for different companies just to show the possibilities. But if you had something like that, and so one of the questions here is, I'm ready, show me how to get started. And I click on this and I told my little Julie that every time someone wants to buy something and they reference them to something, share a happy GIF. So it's going to tell me exactly how to get started. It's like ready to action. Give me that shit. So you can be sharing any GIFs or any funnies or anything that you want them to do. And here's the link. Hey, you ready? Get started. And now it's going to send them the link. So you can tell them like, hey, if someone wants to find out more about a specific thing, tell them that and then share them this link. If they said that something is wrong, show this GIF of a sad puppy. Be like, I'm so sorry, something's wrong. Let's fix it. You can be as creative as you want. And this is really where the thinking comes up, or like, what do I want it to do? If someone is happy with what we're doing, then show a happy GIF. And they can keep talking. So I'm like, I am a coach. How can you help me and it will start building. And it will give me here, I think it will give me testimonials and stuff like that, right? So this is where ChatGPT kind of comes in, and Julie is hitting ChatGPT and building an answer based on what the BioLink chat can do. And then it applies it to the coaching business. So some of the things that you can train your bot on and be like, look, if anyone is giving you an example of their situation, here's what I do, and then apply what I do to what they're doing. Because it is still hitting ChatGPT. And here's the next steps for coaches, and give me that shit. Real world examples. So you can put all your testimonials there, and actually it can reference testimonials and client success stories and anything really that you want it to feature. Is that helpful? Was that Adrian?
Yes, I do have 2 questions.
Yeah.
The information that we are going to provide, is there a particular format does it need to be in? Word, presentations?
Text is best, so like a text file.
Okay. And once the bot is created, will I be able to go in and update it as my content gets? Okay, perfect.
I should say, yes, you can update it, and you should actually once a week or something like that, give yourself 30 minutes looking at the history and just seeing how are people interacting. Is there a question that keeps coming up again and again? And what does my bot say?
Right.
Same thing with a human. If you had like a sales support guy, you'd be listening to the calls and be like, I want to make sure that they're saying the right things. So every once a week, you go in, you go, let me just make sure that it never talks about World War II, right?
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Of course. Any other questions? We're here for you. So anything that comes up, I think we're good. That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. So thank you guys for being here. I'm glad that you were able to get some specific questions in laser coaching. Our Build Your AI Chatbot or your AI assistant event is May. It's going to be
So this is next Friday, guys. Next Friday at 11 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. So either bring your lunch or bring your coffee. Make sure your laptops are charged and all your information is on the same laptop that you're going to be using, because we're going to upload it. If you have WordPress, we're going to send you an email with a WordPress plugin that you can download and upload before the session, so that then we can just show you how to connect it right away. And Kenya, if you want to brainstorm of how to use it, if you have any questions or anything like that's what we can do right now. If you want to take the time and then come back or email Kelly or engage in the community, that will be a great idea. Like just share, hey, I'm thinking of doing that kind of stuff. What do you guys think? How do you think about my bot? What should my bot do? And kind of like brainstorm in the community. I think that'll be super valuable for you.
Yeah, in fact, this replay is going to be posted inside of the community. So the post that has this replay is a great place to say, I've been thinking about that. I've been thinking about this. Yifat is in our community. You can tag her, you can tag myself. But again, whether you're on live or you're watching the replay, that's a great place to start thinking through and coming up with where do I want to start? And I would start with the lowest hanging fruit. What is the thing I'm thinking about? Like, not only what is the thing like you shared earlier that you don't like to do, but for me, it's also what is the thing that I drop the ball on a lot. Like when I think about this whole summit was about unbottlenecking your business. And so when I think about like, where is my business bottlenecked? And a lot of times it's like nurturing leads. Like I'm really great at putting lead magnets out there, but I'm not good
Me neither.
at follow up of thank you so much for getting my lead magnet. And so for me, something great would be like, hey, thanks, you grabbed my lead magnet. I want you to introduce you to this person, which is my assistant. And now they can chit chat and it's not dependent on me. So I think that's another thing that you can think of is one, what do I not love to do? Which I love nurturing. I just don't have time. 2, where am I bottlenecking myself? Well, this could be the one thing that it helps you unbottleneck. So brainstorm with us. You've got a week and a half to think about it.
And also, guys, there's no mistake, right? Because if something happens, when you test it, you go, oops, let me go correct that one. No harm, no foul. So you can't get it wrong. That's why I'm saying, like, you don't need to be a PhD to figure out how to do this thing. You just write a job description. If you were to hire someone, what would you want that person to do? And now, instead of paying them $15 an hour and making sure they did everything and they only show up from 9 to 5 and take a lunch break, now you're going to have a 24/7 person that does all the stuff you want to do. So job description for your chatbot.
I love it. And also we're going to build this in an hour. So as far as I'm concerned, if it only takes me an hour to build one, like later, I know later I'm going to be like, oh, like now I could, right? And also Yifat is going to be so kind as to show us. And with with Noom, it's not going to take 5 weeks to do it. So in essence, if you build one and it's like you want another one, it's going to be very quick. And so that's really, like I said earlier, time is money. That's the magic of part of this workshop, is how can we build one quickly, which means you could build more quickly if you needed to. So I'm super excited. Thank you for helping us prep and get set up so that we are like ready to go on Friday, May 2nd at 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern. We'll post the replay as soon as we have it downloaded. And that is going to be a great place for you to brainstorm and to continue to pick our brains and to continue to set up so that you are more than ready to go on the 2nd. So thank you everybody for joining us. Yifat, thank you for today. Super valuable. Lots of things I know I haven't thought about. And so I'm excited for everybody to take this into consideration, to get the replays and to build their chatbots on the 2nd.
Yeah, let's free our time so we can actually socialize, have some coffee.
Yeah, for sure.
Without it going
Do it
cold.
fast and have a 15-minute chit chat at the end.
Exactly. Fireside. Thank you,
I love-
everybody. We'll see
Okay.
you on Friday.
All right. Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.